Hi guys, welcome to part 2 of helping your child with autism thrive. My name is Tina and I'm a licensed therapist. I'm also a BCBA. So we're going to talk about play-based approach. Well, first you have to figure out what is motivating for your child at that moment. You want to use preferred activities to teach as much as you can. That's going to help prevent a lot of the problem behaviors. You also want to use interspersal training, which is you want to mix in easy and difficult tasks and not just only work on difficult things. This strategy looks to build momentum that will lead to completion of more difficult tasks. So what that means is that when you are working, let's say on something difficult like math or writing, you might throw in something that they can do, which could be maybe coloring, maybe writing ABC, maybe doing some simple worksheets, or you can break the task down to smaller steps. So doing something like playing with Play-Doh and then work on math and then taking a little break. So I found that it really helped decreasing problem behaviors and help get your child to stay engaged in the activities. You also want to utilize some of the sensory activities to help increase learning. Use a variety of sensory items to create exciting and curiosity as much as you can, such as Play-Doh, moon sand, water play, shaving cream, bubbles. Physical sensory activities are fun as well, such as jumping on a trampoline, play on the swing, play on the slide. Other activities could be outdoor, like physical exercise. It's one of the evidence-based practices to help increase physical exertion as a means to reducing problem behaviors. If your child's always getting up and down from their chair and unable to sit and just running around in the house, you know they're going to need some outdoor activity play. So let's incorporate it into their learning, and you can teach a lot of the skills while playing outside. So it doesn't necessarily have to be playing all day long. You can incorporate some of the skills they need to learn, like turn taking or waiting for their turn, asking for help, or having a conversation. Next, we have natural environment teaching. What that means is that you're going to be using their environment or where they're at to teach the skills. So if they are at school, we're going to use that environment to teach the skills. If they are at the grocery store, we're going to use that environment to teach the skills. Teach through activities and toy that the child finds motivating. Ideally, the reinforcement should be the activity itself so that the skill gains them access to reinforcement within the activity. So if you're at the park, right, and your child likes to throw a ball, you're going to use the ball to teach a variety of skills. You can use this strategy to teach at home, school, or in the community. Teach using real items. We prefer using the actual item rather than flashcards when using this type of method. Activities can be short and they can even be repetitive. For example, if your child likes to throw a ball into a bin, you can use that activity. You can build on it and incorporate skills that the child's working on. You can wait for eye contact before giving him the ball. You can have him request for the ball. You can have him imitate an action with the ball. And the most important part is to have fun. The next one is using this method will help with generalization. It's going to be easier to generalize the skills in a variety of settings because you're already doing that. Before we consider the skill as master, the child should be able to show us that she can use the skill during play and other real life situation and not just in one setting. For example, we can teach a child to label pictures of animals and then using a toy barn or a zoo toy set, we can work on labeling animal that way. And then we can take the child to the zoo as well and label animal that way. So that's natural environment teaching. In summary, you want to make learning fun. You always want to change it up. If you feel like your child's getting bored and getting burnt out with doing the same thing over and over again, let's change it up. Get different toys, get different activities. You want to follow the ABC model, which is antecedent, behavior, consequence. So antecedent could be what are you asking your child to do, whether it's going to be reciting the ABC or counting or turn taking or grading. So those are some antecedent like instruction that you're asking your child to do. And then the behavior is what are you expecting your child to do with the response, right? And the consequence would be, are they getting positive reinforcement? Are they getting some prompting from you, some help from you because they're not engaging in the behavior that you want to see happening. You want to create many opportunities for learning. So we know that kids with special needs need repetition, right? Learning thing one time is not gonna, it's not going to help them right away. They need some repetition. So if you can set out a time to teach that particular skills, whether it's going to be saying hi, saying bye, turn taking, asking for what they want, right? You want to carve out some learning time and create those opportunities so there'll be more practice and more repetition in that skill. You also want to individualize your instruction, right? Every child is different. Your first child might be different from your second child. So you want to make sure that you are customize what you're teaching them based on their needs. You know your child more than anyone, so trust your intuition. Okay, so if you feel like this is not working, try something out. And if you feel like, hey, he's making a little progress, then keep going with the same strategy. You want to make sure you stick with one thing before you change it up, at least 2 weeks, because we don't know how long it takes for the child to learn based on variety of factors, like if they have learning disabilities, if they are delayed in certain area. So I would stick with one teaching method before you change to a new one or another one. And don't forget, parents, you are the expert. You know your child more than anyone. What difference between the expert and you is that you live with your child. So you know the ins and outs of their behavior, of their personality. So one thing that you could do is to kind of take notes or take data on some problem behaviors. That's going to really help you become more aware of what type of strategy could be beneficial and could be useful. And I really like these quotes. If they can't learn the way we teach the way they learn. And this is from Dr. Lovitz. And I feel like ABA is such an amazing tool to use because it's so flexible. It's not black and white. You can customize these strategies to meet your child's needs. And if it feels like a never-ending struggle and you're repeating yourself 1,000 times a day, you try timeouts, bribing, threats to get your children to listen, but nothing works. And you're feeling overwhelmed by what to do next and how to respond to your child's behavior. And you're constantly worried that it's going to get worse. And if you're already looking for outside perspective, someone to talk to instead of talking to your relatives or family members who might give you the wrong information, or relying on Google searches, which could be very overwhelming, you're in the right place. So I have a coaching opportunity to offer you. What is parent coaching? It's basically an individualized one-to-one attention. We will brainstorm strategies and effective approach for helping your child. You will receive immediate feedback and you will see results much quicker. We will also talk about how to overcome daily barriers, and you will gain confidence and know what to do in difficult situations. And this is not a therapy service, so you don't need to have some type of mental health symptoms. What can you expect in our coaching session? We will work on assessment together. We'll formulate our goals and individualized action plan. You will gain support from professional guidance. This is a safe space to return when things get off track. And you know that things can definitely get off track when you are a parent, right? Sometimes it's so hard to follow through with certain things, or sometimes you just forget. So I will be there for you as a parent coach that's going to help bring you back and get you back to that action plan. You will work on building connection with your child, also increasing confidence in parenting without yelling, timeout, threats, or spanking. And you will be able to communicate with me via email or text. And I just want to say thank you for watching the webinar. And if you have any questions, you can always email me, info@tinaavilalmft.com. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And then I hope to talk to you soon.